Hello everybody, welcome to Crafty Soup. My name is Misty. I am here with a layout today for you as part of the Scrap Happy membership load challenge. And that is our layout a day challenge that happens several times a year. And this year our theme is game night. Now we don't scrap about game night, but we use that theme to draw prompt inspirations, both a story prompt and a technique prompt. And my prompts were perfect this time around, so let me show you what I did and tell you about the prompt. So you may have noticed that the prompt flashed up there on the screen that said my game was the game of operation, which requires a lot of precision to play. And so both my story and my technique prompt are about precision. And I'm going to tell the story about how my eyes are not working together well anymore and I'm having double vision problems. And I'm finally in some eye therapy to try and help that. It sounds like it won't necessarily solve it, but it will make it better. So we'll see how that all goes. Now, I did go to my Vicky Bouton supply of stash because I don't dig into that one as often as I would like to. And I found this perfect circular paper, which goes fantastically with the photo of me behind the vision measuring machine. I don't even know what that thing is called, but I'm in there every year behind that thing. And I finally had my daughter snap a picture for me. So as I'm looking through these papers, that background paper with the big circles on it is very bold. And so I'm going to need some very calm patterns to help mat and layer things to help make sure that they stand out against that bold paper. So if you're not as comfortable using bold pattern papers, these are some of the tips. Go ahead and layer up plenty of milder papers to make it all work. All right, I have some choices here. I got some black and white and some green and maybe that blue. I'm not quite sure if that will come into play. Oh, yes, it does. It does. I recorded this video a few weeks before I'm doing this voiceover, so I don't always remember what I have gotten done. All right, so I chose another very mild-mannered pattern paper here that is gonna hold my title, and the title work that I do is where I'm gonna bring in that precision technique prompt, and you'll see what I get to in a moment. In the meantime, I am trying to layer up some more pretty elements there, and that little border strip was one of the branding strips off of, I think it was off of that bold background paper, as a matter of fact, and that little strip gave me the idea for my title. So I had started working with these products, not exactly knowing where I was going to go with the technique prompt. And then it just kind of all clicked. And I couldn't tell you how that clicked happened, but it did. And I'm glad it did because it was a fun one. I did decide that my little card here that I cut down from another piece of pattern paper is going to house my journaling. It needed its own mat, and I matched that with the title border mat so that the journaling white paper will have some separation off of the whiteness of the background paper. So again, if you're using that bold background paper, give yourself nice solid colored mats to help everything stand up off of it. All right, so here is where I'm going with my technique prompt, and that is to do multicolored die cut stack layering, offset stacked layering. So I took this to my Cricut machine because I did not want to crank my manual machine to get a ton of alphabets, and some of them didn't cut out quite as well because some of those papers were thicker and I forgot to set it for the thickest setting. At any rate, I did cut the black ones in multiples so that only part of my title is going to be this offset stacking with all of those rainbow colors down there. And I got that idea again from that border strip with all the little colorful circles. And I'm going to go with that rainbow kind of theme, partially because my glasses have a prism in it, and that prism helps try and realign the images to deal with my double vision, and it's not working, which is why I'm in vision therapy right now, as a matter of fact. At any rate, if you have ever played with a prism, you know that by shifting it, you can split the light into its component colors and you'll get a rainbow. So I decided that I was going to use that to split my title letters into that spectrum of colors. And now here I am starting to do the offset stacking. And we'll come back to this a little bit here in detail, where I intended to shift my black letter up and to the right a little bit. Now, it's really easy to see what you're doing when you have straight lines, but the curve of the S was very tricky to to keep track of what up and to the right was, because when you have just these curvy lines, they kind of move and shift on you. At any rate, I had to redo my S because I didn't get it precise enough. So in my precision prompt, I had to start again to make sure I was precise. So I did finally get all of those letters stacked up. And like I said, I started saying the extra black letters on the other ends of this title word, which is insights. I just highlighted the word sight in the middle of that. So that's my little play on words with my title. And I did stack those extra letters at the beginning and end of the word of insights just with black, so that I didn't have to worry about being precise and aligning those well. I just stacked them up, glued them, and then squished them into place, and I was done there. And it does actually say I insights in the background, which is a much more subtle word, as you can see here in the close-up. And then you can see all those layers of rainbow colors behind that title. So I just chose the different colors based on the importance of the words in my title. So that's how I chose to do certain parts in different colors and styles. And then this last bit of the layout is really just about adding a few embellishments. And I'm not going to add a lot here because really what I wanted to accomplish was the interest with that title, and I got that accomplished. So I have my checklist of my story prompt talking about my eyes not precisely working together, and my technique prompt with that offset die cut stacking technique with my title, and that will just about finish up this layout as soon as I get these small embellishments in place, and we can take a look at the close-ups. So with just a little shifting of the embellishments, I finished that off and got my journaling on there. And I like how these little glasses have an arrow down to the journaling. And here is a close-up of that offset stacking. And that wraps it up for today. So I thank you for being here. If you're coming over from Scrap Happy, I hope you're enjoying Load. And if you don't know about Load, I will leave all the links down below so you can learn more and maybe you'll join us. I have a very full week this week, so I will be back very soon with more videos for you. Until then, have an artful day.